like I said, I love franchising. It's a great way to build long-term relationships with people and building wealth for people when it's done right.
Yeah. How do you find your franchise?
My biggest validator is my existing franchisees. They see what they're doing, they call us.
So it's word of mouth?
It's word of mouth. Yeah,
I think it's to this day the most trusted way to find information.
I mean, we got up to 200 sold, and we have not spent $1 on franchise marketing. This year is,
when you say 200 what?
200 locations sold.
And you have 25 open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did not spend $1 on franchise marketing until this year.
This episode made possible by Restaurant Systems Pro. With excitement, allow me to introduce you today's guest, COO of Layne's Chicken Fingers, Samir Watter. My man Samir, are you feeling unstoppable today?
I am unstoppable. Actually, Layne's is unstoppable.
Yeah, and I'm stoked because I literally just spoke to Garrett yesterday. I was driving to another interview this morning. I got a text message. He said, we're going to get Samir on. We're going to make this happen. And I literally rolled into an interview, said, I'll figure it out. I'll be there. And we're here. And I love being able to tell the CEO perspective and the COO perspective. I just had the author of Rocket Fuel, which is all about that combination of COO and visionary and how you need both. And I think it's so valuable for my listeners to be able to see that perspective and to go deep into those worlds. So I can't wait to dive into who you are, how you got here, and the knowledge you have. But let's get that motivational, inspirational ball rolling with a success quote or mantra. What do you got for us?
Okay. My mantra is in franchising. Franchising is very important to me. I love franchising. I think it's a great way to build relationships and build wealth. So I teach everybody around here is we live by one mantra: protect the brand and protect the franchisee.
Why franchising?
Why franchising? It's everybody always dreams of being an entrepreneur, always dreams of being something that they own that for them. And franchising helps them get there. In my world, I look at franchising, there is two different kind of franchisees. There is the dreamer and there is the investor. There is nothing wrong with either one of them. The dreamer is the guy that have a great day job, but I've always dreamt of owning a business, owning something of my own. That's the dreamer. I don't want to leave my job, but I want to have something of my own. The investor is who was a dreamer at one point in their life, became an investor with a brand, and now they want to go in, okay, how can I diversify my portfolio? So getting those, and I've been lucky and I've been blessed to have both. I've had dreamers that are investors right now. I met them in a different brand where they came to me, hey, we're a family, we want to own our own business, sold them their first franchise, opened their second restaurant, third restaurant, and now they have Layne's Chicken Fingers.
So I want to make sure I understand. Dreamers are people who want the security in their job, but they've always been dreaming of doing something, and this is a path for them. And then the investor is, say it one more time for me.
The investor is, I have a brand, I'm a franchisee already, I want to diversify my portfolio.
Okay.
I'm with this brand, but I'm capped at my territories. I want to go somewhere else, and I want to keep building generational wealth for my family.
Okay.
That's the investor. And the trajectory is you start as a dreamer, and you move into an investor.
Okay, got it. That's a cool perspective I've never heard before. Yeah. So in full transparency, when I first started this podcast, my vision was to lift up the independent restaurant owner, to crowdsource the information and to make an information available to independents so we could compete with the big corporations and the franchises of the world. As I grew and I evolved, I started to realize that not all franchises and corporations are evil, that there's a lot to be learned from these organizations, and that if I really want to serve my listeners, I have to be open-minded. I have to go learn from these people because there's probably a balance that can be met, right? When I think of franchise, I think of there's three types of people: entrepreneurs, managers, and technicians. I think that franchises are a great entrepreneurial opportunity for managers who are good at taking something that's been built and then just like managing it. Is that, where does that fall into your perspective of what you just shared with us? Am I off or am I on?
You're on the border.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of, especially in the restaurant franchising, there is a lot of commitment that comes into place. My experience with franchisees, especially the dreamers, okay, I built the restaurants, I'm ready to open the door, I'm done. But they need to understand this is where the work starts. The construction and all of that was fun, but the work starts right there and
Right.
then. And I use this example a lot when I'm talking to franchisees, especially inexperienced franchisees, is franchising is like gardening, like planting a tree in the backyard. You buy this fruit tree, you go to Home Depot, you buy this tree, you dig the hole, you plant it in there. For the first year, you're watering it every day, you're trimming it every day, you're talking to it, you're caressing it, you're praying every day. Maybe you'll get one fruit.
Mm-hmm.
The second year, you start watering it less, talking to it less, and start paying attention to it. You'll get a little bit of fruit. The third year, you're not doing anything, but you call your neighbors and say, "Hey, you want some fruit?"
Yeah.
So everything starts in the beginning, how you start. And myself, the restaurant business has been very rewarding to me.
That's a great segue. So right now, big picture, Layne's is at 25 locations. Yep. You came on when they were at 7?
6.
6 locations. But we got to talk about you. Take us back to where it makes sense. What were you doing before Layne's?
Before Layne's, I was with a company called Fuzzy's Taco Shop.
Okay.
I was their VP of supply chain and franchise development. I've been in the restaurant business since college.
Okay.
I graduated from college, stumbled in the restaurant business by accident, never worked in a restaurant in my life. I moved from Louisiana to California and reading the newspaper. By that time, it was the want ads. There was no internet or anything. I saw a big ad in the newspaper, and it said, big headline for thinking managers. Well, I'm a thinking manager. I'm fresh out of college. I'm ready to go. And I applied, and it turned out to be at Denny's restaurants back then. And I applied, they hired me, and was with them for quite a long time, most of my career, over 10 years. I started as an assistant manager, worked my way up to restaurant director of operations. I was in charge of 50 restaurants. And that's when I got introduced to franchising.
Okay. What year was this when you joined Denny's?
1986.
Okay. And is Denny's a franchise?
They were. I mean, they had few franchisees. Now they're mostly franchisees.
Got it. And this was in California.
In California.
And you were right out of college.
Right out of college.
And you spent 10 years there. So 86 to 96.
Yeah.
You started as the AGM.
I started as AGM. My shift was 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. when I started with Denny's restaurants.
I kind of want to stay high level like you just did for us with Denny's, and then what was the next step? And then we'll kind of go down and get granular. So after 1996, where were you?
I got recruited by a company called La Salsa Fresh Mexican Grill.
Okay.
They wanted to enter the Bay Area, and I was living in Northern California. It's similar to Chipotle, Qdoba.
What title were you referred to?
Regional Director of Operations.
Okay.
I opened 30 restaurants for them in the Bay Area.
Wow. And how long were you there?
I was there until 2006.
So another 10 years.
Yep.
And where were you after? Is that where you joined Fuzzy's?
No.
Okay.
I've had a couple of stops. I worked for a company called Pollo Campero, which is a company out of Guatemala. They wanted to enter the U.S. market.
Okay.
I was hired as their senior director of operations. I was in charge of operations, franchise and company ops, supply chain, training, ops services. I helped them launch a new prototype for the U.S., redesigned the menu for them. And I was there for about 7 years. And then during that time, I met the founder of Muya Burgers, Fries, and Shakes. And he brought me in as VP of operations. And then it evolved from operations to added supply chain and added franchise development.
Say that the titles one more time.
VP of operations, supply chain, franchise development.
Okay. And then that was the last thing you were doing before you came here.
Then I moved to Fuzzies, and then I met.
That's right.
And then I met the team here by accident. One of the partners works out with a friend of mine, and he was telling him the story of Layne's. And my friend told him, actually, he was my boss at Muya. He told him, "Hey, if I was you, I would call this guy."
And this was you joined Layne's in 2021.
Yes, our first meeting was 4 weeks into the shutdown.
Okay.
In 2020.
2020. Thank you very much. But you started working officially in 2021.
2021.
Okay. When did you join Fuzzy's Tacos?
I joined Fuzzy's Tacos in 2019, and I left in 2021.
Okay. And VP of Ops there too?
VP of Supply Chain and Franchise Development.
Okay. Lots to cover.
Yeah.
That's why I always wanted to get it all out now.
Yeah.
So now that you know who we're talking to,
Yeah.
like you are the kind of person I love to talk to because you can have the vision, you can have the dream, you can have values, you can have all the energy in the world to get people going. But if you don't know how to build it, if you don't know how to get the vision onto paper and into reality, then you've got nothing, right? And that's where you specialize, safe to say.
Yeah.
So if we're going to pay homage to your background, where do you think it makes sense to focus? Is it 2013 at Muya? And then,
yes.
So 2013, I think this is also a time where the industry is very like,
when
it's
I
transforming.
joined Muya, I joined Muya, it was 32 restaurants, and when I left, it was over 100.
Okay. Why Muya? What was appealing to you?
It was. I mean, when I met the founder and I understood the vision, I was a customer. Every brand I've been to, I was a customer. I liked it, and I knew there is something you can do if you do it right. And it just needed some guidance, some discipline, and some guidance to take it to the next level.
In your opinion, with your up to this point 20 years of experience, right? Because you were 86, this is 2019, almost. Yeah. I mean, you had some time under your belt, right?
Yeah.
What were they missing? Where do they need support the most?
They needed support is. So I'm gonna readjust the answer a little bit. Somebody asked me in an interview one day. He said, "What's your biggest What's the biggest thing you've learned doing this for so long, especially franchising?" My biggest lesson is don't be afraid of saying no.
Okay.
And that's what Muya was missing, is saying no to the franchisee.
So
what I mean by that is if you build a relationship with a franchisee where they trust you, they believe in your mission and they believe in you, saying no is okay. Because you're, again, protect the brand, protect the franchisee. I use this example. I have 3 boys. I tell them no 1,000,000 times a day because I want them to be better. But that never means I stopped loving them. I just want them to be better. Same thing with franchising. You're saying no as long as you can explain why and what's the reason behind it and what's the option, what's the alternative for what they want to do. You're okay. It's okay to say no if you can back it up.
What up, Unstoppable restaurant owners and operators? We have to interrupt today's video to let you know that Restaurant Unstoppable and Restaurant Systems Pro, we're taking our relationship to the next level. Beginning in July of 2024, Fred Layne, CEO of Restaurant Systems Pro, is making himself available once a week in Restaurant Unstoppable Network to answer all of your restaurant systems questions, whether it's the profit margins. He will look at your P&L. Bring your P&L. He will take a look at that. He will dissect it. He will help you find your profit, whether that be through budgeting, inventory management, costing recipe cards, labor, checklists, you name it. He is a master of restaurant systems, and he's making himself available to you. Fred Layne and Restaurant Systems Pro started as a consulting firm, and for over 16 years, they've been helping their clients increase their profit by 10% or more. What are you waiting for? Click the link below to join our Facebook group, Restaurant Unstoppable Network.
Right. I like to draw analogies in the world of franchising, the world of independent or corporate, right? The franchise is the CEO. They are the vision. They're they are the culture. It's the model that we are replicating, right? It's the systems. It's everything that we're recreating in our franchisees. So like you as the franchise have to know where you're going and who you are.
Exactly.
And you have to, and that's what the CEO does.
Yeah.
The CEO is the dreamer, the visionary, they are the embodiment of what you are. Right.
Yep.
So you have to, the whole reason why we have vision and core values and mission is to be a filter. Is this who we are? No.
You check and balances. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's as long as the franchising, it's I love it. I love it as long as it's done right.
Okay.
Building that trust, have the franchisee understand you're looking for their best interest. You're not here just to collect a check and walk away. You're not here, do it because I said so. Because most of your lessons are learned from the field, and the franchisees are in the field. Don't discount, if they bring an idea, don't discount it. Listen to it and validate it and move on.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest complaints franchisees have is transparency from the corporate office. So that's why I make sure here that every department that reports to me, they have weekly or every other week call with the franchisees to discuss whatever they want in their discipline. If it's marketing, they discuss marketing. If it's ops, they discuss ops. And we're the example. Share what we're doing corporately, share it with the franchisee, even if it's bad.
It's like open book management.
Open book management.
Yeah. And there's so many parallels between franchising and franchisee, or franchisor and franchisee, and chef, owner, CEO, employee. It's the same thing. It's just like be transparent, open communication is what I'm hearing from you. Yeah. So why do you think in the past the franchisors would hold information from franchisees? What was the benefit to that?
There is so many reasons. There's to get in on all of them. It's just they're trying to protect their brand, but they're not thinking about the guy that invested in their brand.
Okay.
And that's where the disconnect happens. Yeah, you're trying to protect your brand, but the guy that's in the field every day, doing it every day, might have better ideas. I remember years ago at Denny's, we used to have what we call ideas that pay. We listen to the field, and any ideas, send them over. If we adopt them, we'll pay for them. I know people that got paid thousands of dollars because of ideas that came from the field.
Right.
Because these are the guys are doing it. And franchisors lately, they became more, they want to be restaurant operators. They don't want to be franchisors. One of the biggest paradigm change I had to do here at Layne's.
I know where this is going. Keep going.
We are not in the restaurant business. Our franchisees are. Our general manager and our corporate stores are. They are in the restaurant business. They're doing it every day. We are in the service business. Think of it. I have a franchisee that comes meet with us on a discovery day, buys a territory, gives you $100,000, $200,000 check. I want to buy that territory. And they haven't opened the store yet.
Yeah.
They believe in you.
Yeah.
They believe in what you're selling.
So what is the service you're providing as a franchisor?
Support. I'm providing all the departments that we have right now. For a company that has 25 restaurants open, we have 18 employees here at the support center that supports the franchisee. And we created a model that I love to call it the relay race. Once the franchisee signs in with us, somebody from our company is holding the baton and with them that step. Like they sign the agreement. The next step, they go to the real estate team. They're holding the baton. The real estate team is with them until they sign a lease. And once they sign the lease, the real estate team hands the baton over to the construction team. They're holding the baton, and there's no drops in there and then the construction team becomes the conductors. They're conducting the whole process. They start bringing people in. They bring marketing in, they bring training in, they bring ops in, and then the construction team will hand it over to the training team. Okay, guys, these guys are ready to train. We'll go support them, ready to open. Training team goes over there, train the team, open the restaurant. The ops team go there, and they hand the baton to them.
Got it. one follow-up question with your time at Muya before we kind of go back to what you're doing today and what it looks like. They're at 30 locations. You said you helped them get to over 100. The thing that they could do better was saying no more.
Yeah,
right?
saying no, focusing on franchising instead of operations.
Got it. And not basically saying yes to all the franchisees, right?
Exactly.
Knowing your lane and keeping the course going. So if that's where you were, like, I guess what I'm curious at, like, how do you get from like this is a little outside of my comfort zone, if I'm being completely honest, because I don't talk about this like franchise stuff. Like what has to change? Like, how did you go in and how did you help the leaders in that organization realize that no is okay?
Make them understand that they are our customer.
Okay.
I use a lot of examples. If we have a customer that walks into a Muya or Layne's or any business and they complain about something, we go overboard to fix it. Okay, the franchisee is our customer. Make sure we're delivering on what we're promising.
So if I'm relating that to the restaurant industry, it's like somebody comes into your pizza shop and they ask for a chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if you can be everything to everybody? Me and you will both be billionaires sitting somewhere on an island drinking margaritas right now.
Or maybe the better analogy is an employee comes to you and says, I want to add this to your sous chef says, let's add this to the menu. No, that's not what we do. That's not
I mean, it's always been my philosophy is find what you're good at and be great at it.
Okay. Help me understand too. I love that, by the way. Totally support that sentiment of do one thing really well.
Be great at it.
Yeah. VP of Ops, Supply, and Franchise Development. These are worlds I'm not. I mean, VP of Ops, like, define that in your mind.
VP of Ops is basically the voice of the franchisee.
Okay.
I brought this to Layne's. Like when we have our weekly staff meeting, I've kind of created this environment where marketing, you're the voice of the customer. Tell me everything the customer is saying about us.
Okay.
Training, you're the voice of the employee. Tell me everything the employee is saying. Are we doing something that they're not understanding? You're the voice of the employee.
Okay.
And ops is the voice of the franchisee, because when a franchisor or anybody, even corporately, not franchising, you're making decisions in a room without listening to whoever is going to execute that thing, you're going to fail.
So your focus as the VP of Ops is to listen to the feedback and to evolve based off of what you're
and if it doesn't work, if I hear something that doesn't make sense to the business, I'm going to voice my opinion because the franchisees trust me to represent them.
So when you say franchise development, are you talking about fine-tuning?
Yes, the franchise development basically more is recruiting and selling franchises.
So if you're the VP of that, you're basically finding what are the people that you're trying to sell to? What are they saying?
Yeah, and for you
fine-tune the sales process.
Fine-tune the sales process, and fine-tune what we're selling.
Okay, so during this time, big time of your career at Muya Burger and Fry, right? What was your biggest personal development and like growth as a VP of operations and an operations person? Like how did you get better at what you do during this time?
I became better by surrounding myself with the right people.
Okay. Pull back a layer on that.
And listening. We tend to, people think communication is speaking, but the biggest part of communication is listening and make sure, and I always say, I use it with my kids, you have to listen and hear and look and see. And don't assume anything. And surrounding myself with the right people and selecting the right franchisees that can make me better.
Okay, so almost like finding your A+ players, who are the culture carriers, the dream franchisees. Yeah. Surround myself with these people and really use them to help influence the entire organization. Yeah. Yeah. So kind of like surrounding yourself with They say like when you're growing a team, you don't want to focus on the C players and like the D players and try to bring them up to like B players. You're focusing on the B plus and the A minus players and
Bring
making
up to
them,
A plus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that applies to the world of franchise.
To everything. That applies
Yeah.
even with customers. I mean, we even customers that comes to Layne or any business, if you rank them like 1 to 5, 5 is your advocates. No matter what you do, they're gonna love you. And then you got the 3s, the 4s, and the 1s and the 2s. The 1 and 2s are the minority. Don't focus on the 1 and 2s. Focus on the 3 and 4s to bring them to 5. It's a lot easier.
Got it. Transitioning to Fuzzy's Tacos, that was in 2018,
Yeah.
and you were there until 2021.
21, yeah. Actually 2019. It was end of 18, beginning of 19.
Okay. Where were they when you joined?
They were 135, 140 restaurants. They lost restaurants when I joined. After I joined, that was the only company where when I left they had less restaurants than when I came.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. There was. I mean, Fuzzy's is a great brand. There was a lot of different things happening internally that it needs time to get there. And I was there a short time because this opportunity came.
Lots of things happening internally. So probably relationships baking.
There was relationship making, and the foundation wasn't strong enough to move it in 2 years.
You said it was at 140 locations when you joined. Where were they?
They think they were 136 when I left.
Okay. How many total did they leave, and did you build back up?
No, I left. I mean, I signed people up, but I left before they opened.
Why you? Why did they say, like, were you recruited?
Yes.
Why do they want you?
They wanted me for my franchise relations and my supply chain expertise.
Franchise relations, so what you just unpackaged for us, and supply chain expertise.
Supply chain,
we haven't really gotten into the supply chain.
Supply chain is one of the services the franchisor provides, because people buy into franchise to buy the systems, and I don't want to have to go shop for my own food. I want to negotiated prices delivered to me.
Right. Well, it's not just food; it's everything.
It's everything.
So
it's from a napkin all the way to walk-in cooler.
Right, into fryers, into hardware.
Everything.
So
it's
you're
everything.
So you're basically the person who develops the system from purchasing food to developing the actual step-by-step process to the production line.
Yep.
So, what would you say that's your area of expertise?
I stumble on it.
Okay.
I stumbled on it when I was with Pollo Campero, and I became very good at it.
What was your challenge?
The world it's a lot of supply chain is mostly relationships, and you have to be careful, and you have to understand the game. And
what is the game? Explain the rules of the game.
The rules of the game is there's a lot of things happen. Like, I mean, like, for example, in a grocery store, I'm going to give you that example. People, when you go to grocery stores, there is items on the top shelf, item on the middle shelf, item on the bottom shelf. Why?
Because of where the eye goes.
Why this company is on the top shelf.
They're paying more.
Exactly. Same thing with supply chain when you buy from distributors.
There's ironically a lot of similarities in the world of media and podcasts.
Yeah.
It's all marketing.
Yeah, it's all cost money. Same thing with when you go to a distributor and you buy stuff. They try to sell you this product because they give them money to sell this product.
Yeah.
So the thing is what I did is I bypassed all that, and I kind of pulled the layers like an onion. You keep pulling layers, and I got to the bottom of it, and I came up, okay, my food, these 20, 30 items equal 80% of my food cost or 85% of my food cost. Let me focus on these first.
It's like a descending vendor report.
Yeah, like a velocity report. What am I buying the most? If I'm buying chicken, okay, chicken will be first.
We're gonna put. Why would you focus on that?
Focus
first?
on, because that's what I make my. That's the
your
number
prime cost.
That's my prime. That's what cost me the most.
If I can fine tune this one
exactly.
thing, If I can tweak the process on this one thing, it will have the biggest impact on my bottom line.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then when I started doing that, and I started building relationship with suppliers, and then I treated the distributor as what they are. They are a distributor. They're in it to make money as well. So, I mean, I always tell people, you're in it to make money. I'm in it to save money. I'm sure there is somewhere in the middle we can meet.
So when you say you bypass all that world of marketing,
and I do that, like the relationship on my prime items, like French fries, chicken, muya was meat, beef, ground beef. Those became my relationships, where the supplier will come in, I tell them, order from this guy, bring it to your warehouse, and when my stores order it, you deliver it to them. That's their job.
Okay.
So there is no marketing dollars, anything. I negotiated the whole price.
What steers your decision when finding the product you're going to purchase?
Does it fit what I'm doing?
Okay.
From a quality, I look at quality. Can I get it to all my franchisees? And then I negotiate the price.
So is the quality there? Is it even possible? Like, is the supply chain able to meet the demand? Can we get it to where it needs to be?
Where I need to be. Like, for example, in Muya, I mean, we were over 100 restaurants, and we were in 20 states. I had one restaurant in Billing, Montana. I don't want that restaurant to suffer because they are
or not be consistent.
Yeah. I don't. So I made sure all of that, and I put that on the supplier, not the distributor.
Okay.
The distributor, all you got to do is just order it. When my franchisee orders it, you deliver it to them. I manage everything else.
So you're managing the relationship between the supplier, the person who manufactures and produces the good, and the person who transports it.
Yep.
Any tips or advice on how to manage those two different relations? Like, do you treat them differently, or like
you treat? Yeah, I mean, the distributor is the distributor. That's what their job is, and it's harder on a single unit operator But you build that relationship and you make it more a personal relationship, more than a business transaction, and don't jump on the next good thing.
Yeah, if you can save a little here, like stick with your people over time.
I mean, if you see the price drop, okay, this price dropped by 10 cents a pound. Oh, I'm gonna go make a new contract. No, talk to your guy.
Yeah,
and come up with a solution. And that's why I believe I built my name in supply chain, and I'm very well respected because I don't cherry pick.
Yeah,
I'm loyal. And if you promise me something, I'll hold you accountable to it, and I'm gonna stick with you. And if anything, COVID has proven that I'm good at what I do.
Okay, which is a good segue. I just wanted to like kind of unpackage and learn more about you and your evolution. We haven't really talked a lot about Layne's yet, but that's because I really want to figure out like, okay, like why did they want you? Like, so you are with Fuzzies until 2019. The pandemic happens. 2020, you start having your conversation. Somebody said you got to check out this group.
Actually, yeah, no. Like I said, a friend of mine works out with one of the partners.
Like exercises?
Exercise, yeah.
Was this the
Matt?
Okay, yeah.
Matt. I mean, he's a CrossFit guy, so they work out. They're doing CrossFit, and my friend does CrossFit.
Whataburger, right? Or no?
No.
I'm getting my lines crossed.
Yeah.
There's another.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And then Matt was telling him the story, and my friend is a restaurant guy too.
Got it.
And my friend right away told him he picked up his phone, he told him, if I'm you, I will call this guy right now. And me and Matt got connected, and I was already a customer because they opened Layne's by my house. Never knew what Layne's is. I loved the product. I loved the service, and I told my phantom, this company has legs if it's done right. And then me and Matt met the first time.
One of the partners.
Yeah.
Garrett's partner.
O'Reilly? O'Reilly, yes. And we met like in April. The store was shut down. I mean, it was during the shutdown. They were only open drive-through. And we met and we started talking. I remember that time. There was not me coming on board and anything. And I remember telling Matt, at that time, I told him, hey, Matt, if you want to save this, you need somebody running your company right now.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean it's me, but you need somebody right now. I can help you. If you have any questions, I'll answer them for you.
Okay, so I'm making some notes because I want to come back to it. You want to save this. Okay, so when your friend said, I would look into this company if I were you.
No, he told Matt to call me.
Oh, to call you to look into you.
Yeah.
Got it. So you said that when you started looking at it, you noticed that it had legs. So that means that it's scalable.
Yep.
What are the variables that you look at to know something is scalable?
I look at how hard is it to execute from a franchising. How hard is it to execute? Is the product craveable? And is it deliverable? Can you replicate it?
Got it. Craveable, deliverable, and
Replicatable.
So fair to say chicken fingers
Yeah.
hit all those
Everybody,
marks.
Yeah.
Craveable, replicable, deliverable, is that in that order?
I mean, it has to be. I mean, the product has to be craveable.
Right.
Can you execute it? Replicate it with the same execution. And I think that
You say
can
craveable, replicatable, and what was the other one? Sorry.
simple
Simplicity. Duplicatable.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Can you duplicate it?
So I mean, pretty obvious there is chicken fingers. You don't have to like rely on a like somebody with a degree from CIA to be able to execute on the level of creativity. It's you know what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
you're not creating a new menu every night.
You're not. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple. You can duplicate it. An 16-year-old can cook.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to be a chef to make it.
You can keep your cost of labor down because
Yeah.
you don't need to invest in specialty
Yeah.
individuals.
But
right?
can you do it? Can you build the systems to grow it?
Got it. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then what about the brand? Like the food is craveable, but was the brand craveable?
What attracted me about the brand has history.
Okay.
The brand has been around since 1994 and it's still there.
Legacy.
That told me something.
What does it tell you?
It tells me, hey, people want it, because, I mean, we've seen restaurants come and go and all that, but this brand has stood the time. As much as College Station has grown, and even here in Dallas, they brought it to Dallas, and it's happening. So that excited me. When you're selling a franchise or you're building a franchise organization, what's your story? I have a story that I've been around since 1994.
Yeah. It pulls on the strings of hearts.
Yeah, I've been around. I haven't failed. So.
Yeah, and there's a track record
Yeah.
there. There's
Yeah.
that consistency is undeniable.
Yep.
You said if you want to save this, you need somebody like me.
No, I said you need somebody now.
Somebody now.
I wasn't interested then.
Somebody like you in the sense of an operator.
Yeah, you need somebody to come in and does what they're supposed to do.
You need somebody now.
Yeah.
What if you want this thing? If you want to save this thing, you need somebody now.
Yeah.
Was it so? What needed saving?
A lot from like supply chain, from execution, because we would discuss they want to take it and franchise it, and I told him, so what are you selling? If you're franchising, what are you selling? You're not selling chicken fingers, you're selling support. What is your support? And you have to have all that in order before you start selling franchises.
Okay. So you know that it needed an operations person.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, why not you?
Yeah, we kept talking, and then finally met with Garrett and said, we want you on board. And I said, okay. I had 2 questions for them. I loved the brand because I kept looking at it and all that. I knew it could be something. You know, you get that feeling, you get that excitement. Hey, I mean, there is something there. You have to do it right.
Right.
And I had 2 questions for them when I met with them. The first question was, do you want to make money off supply chain? And there is nothing wrong with it. A lot of people do it. I'm not the guy to do it. I refuse to do it. And the second question is, do you need to sell franchises to survive? Because if you do that, that means it becomes a selling organization, not a franchisor.
So just recently had Charles Intercanola from Intercanola Law Firm.
I know Charles.
Yeah.
I know Charles really well.
Great conversation. And he pointed out that there's 3 ways that you make money with a podcast, with a franchise. It's through sponsorship, basically your royalties that you get from each franchisee as they're making money, and then what's essentially supply chain or affiliate marketing when you're earning a commission on selling things to your franchisees. Is that accurate?
I will not make any money that I get from vendors. I give it back to franchisees.
So you're basically saying the money that you're saving by whatever deal you work out, you're not taking that and putting it into your pocket. You're paying it forward to the franchisee to make sure that.
I will not. There is nothing wrong with it. A lot of companies do that, and they disclose it. I will not do that. It's hard enough to run a business, or especially a restaurant, by us making money on the food. They're paying me already royalties for those services. That's why they signed up with me.
Okay.
I mean, they signed up with me for these services.
Got it. And the second thing is you wouldn't, you don't want to survive off selling the franchisees, meaning that you're not dependent on the cash flow from people buying in. Why is that so important?
Because once you do that, you'll start selling anybody that walks in the door. And
you become dependent on that cash flow.
And then you lose control of your brand.
And that was the core message that Charles delivered, is that you want your core revenue to become
from royalties,
making your franchisees successful. That reoccurring, almost passive income.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
I shouldn't say it's passive because it's a lot of work to support your franchisees.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business. I mean, we're in this, like I said in the beginning, we're in the service business. We provide services. We collect a fee for those services, which is royalties.
Yeah.
Now it's on me to make the budget to make money in my company from that fee. Not go and charging for supply chain, not all that. It's me being fiscally responsible and manage accordingly.
You're trying to increase the odds of success for the franchisees, and if you do that, then you're going to be taken care of.
Yep.
So you asked these 2 questions: money from supply chain, and are you going to sell franchisees to survive? What was his answer?
Money from supply chain, they already said no because they applied to be franchisees with somebody and they saw that they didn't like it.
Okay.
We had to discuss selling franchises to survive because they didn't understand it.
Well, yeah, and I think people who are listening to this heard Garrett on the show. They heard his story. He was in the world of real estate development, and he had this knowledge of real estate and how to put these deals together, and he had this network, and he was doing this for Starbucks for 10 years or something like that. So that was his unique selling proposition. That's what he had that was unique to give him an unfair advantage. He didn't know anything about actually opening and running and doing the world of franchise. He needed an operations person. He was learning.
Yeah, he was learning. And once I explained it, they said, no, whatever you need, we have.
Yeah.
And then our vision for the brand aligned where what are we getting out of this?
So at this point, what we're getting out of this, finish that thought.
Yeah, with me is I'm building a legacy. I'm building a brand that's going to be around for a long time.
That was where I was going with this, because now you are somebody since 1986. You have 30 years almost of experience under your belt. You are at the peak of your career in terms of what do I want to do with the rest of my career? Right?
A lot of people, looked at me, told me I'm stupid.
So why Layne?
You're leaving. You're going to run what? A 3 restaurant? They own 3 restaurants, and the founder owns 3. What are you guys doing? I know there is something there. I believe it, and I took a chance, and look where we're at right now, 4 years later.
So why Layne's? What was it?
It's those 3 things. I mean, it's when I walked into Layne's for the first time. The product was great. It's easy to execute, and I can replicate it. I can have anybody. If I can go in the restaurant and run a shift and cook chicken, anybody can.
Yeah, and the product's great. It's not just the chicken. It's the brand. It's the story. It's the legacy.
But you have to back it up.
Yeah.
You have to back it up. I mean, I don't know if Garrett got into this with you when you talked to him. To me, the restaurant business is a poker game.
Okay, he did not.
In a poker game, you have to have the ante to be in the hand.
The ante?
Yeah.
If you don't pay, I don't play poker. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
the ante is you put, let's say they have small blind, big blind, and then there is the ante. Like,
Okay.
If you don't put your ante in,
You got to have skin in the game.
You're not playing. You're not playing the hand.
Okay. Is that what that means? You got to have skin in the game?
No.
No?
You have good food is your ante.
Okay.
If you don't have good food, you're not even.
Yeah,
in the
you're
game.
opening a restaurant. I hope you know how to cook.
Yeah. If you don't have good food,
Yeah.
you're not even in the game. So don't bother.
Got it.
It's what you do, how you play your hand is how you win. It's not what you have and all that. It's how you play your hand, how you read your customers, how you cater to your people. That's how you win the hand. You could have the worst hand in the hole, but how you play it, you can win because you understand what everybody else is doing and what everybody else is thinking.
Got it. Take us to where they were with 6 locations to where they are today with 25 locations in 4 years.
Okay.
What were the key things that had to happen?
What up, unstoppable restaurant owners and operators? We have to interrupt today's video to let you know that Restaurant Unstoppable and Restaurant Systems Pro, we're taking our relationship to the next level. Beginning in July of 2024, Fred Layne, CEO of Restaurant Systems Pro, is making himself available once a week in Restaurant Unstoppable Network to answer all of your restaurant systems questions, whether it's be profit margins. He will look at your P&L. Bring your P&L. He will take a look at that. He will dissect it. He will help you find your profit, whether that be through budgeting, inventory management, costing recipe cards, labor, checklists, you name it. He is a master of restaurant systems, and he's making himself available to you. Fred Layne and Restaurant Systems Pro started as a consulting firm, and for over 16 years, they've been helping their clients increase their profit by 10% or more. What are you waiting for? Click the link below to join our Facebook group, Restaurant Unstoppable Network.
The first most important thing is we had to streamline supply chain.
Okay. How?
Because to give you an example, when I came on board, College Station was serving Pepsi. The Dallas stores were serving Coke.
Oh, wow.
The College Station were buying whatever chicken they want. Dallas were buying whatever the distributor is selling them.
Okay. So number one, streamline supply chain.
Streamline supply chain.
What's the next thing that had to happen? Just list off like the big key areas of improvement.
Yeah. The second thing is the SOPs, the policies and procedures.
Okay. And what else?
And then the biggest one was identifying what we are selling. What we think we are selling, but what we are really selling to franchise.
Okay. Let's start with that one.
Okay.
So identifying what we're really selling, because I think that's kind of where it starts,
yeah,
right?
Who are we? What are we? Like we have 1994 everywhere. Is that important to the customer? It's important to us, but is it important to the customer? So what I did is I brought a company, a branding company, that did study on us, and they interviewed employees, customers, and us. And they came back and said, well, yeah, 1994 is important to every one of you.
Why?
Because it gives you history. Not because we were before Raising Cane's.
It's a unique selling proposition.
It's a unique, hey, you've been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah.
And they came around is you're carefree, you're laid back. And so once we identified that, we started building on that.
So can you share the name of this company that helped you? I like giving credit where credit's due. I don't know if it's
I don't
off the
think
record.
they're around anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important. So you're reverse engineering, right? This
I mean, the
organization.
guy that was doing it, his name is Jordan Duran. He was my director of marketing at Muya, but he went to this company.
Okay, got you. So really what you're doing is like, so the backstory again, if you did not listen to Garrett's episode, he found Layne's. He had a relationship with Layne's. He grew up with Layne's. He had an emotional connection to it. He saw the potential there, and he wanted to scale this thing that he loved. But he had to define what it was, the culture, the thing that made it special, so that when you're communicating, what are we? What exactly is it that you're communicating? The carefree and the laid back, did that come from Garrett, or is that from the source, Matt?
No, it came from Garrett.
Layne.
Yeah, from Layne's. I mean, that's the way it started. It's carefree. It's laid back. And That's what I think. That's what held it in College Station for that long.
Got it. What about the culture? So this is this is culture, right? The brand is part of the culture, but you have pillars. What are these pillars?
Yeah, I mean the culture is basically. I mean, I don't know if you can see it. We call them Astro Chicken.
Okay.
This is we do everything around Astro Chicken. Actually, I just used it today with one of the directors.
So if you're watching the video of this, if you head over to YouTube and you head to youtube.com/Restaurant Unstoppable, there's a video of this interview, and over your shoulder right now is your logo, Layne's, and there's a chicken with an astronaut helmet on, and it says since 1994, and then there's 4 elements around that. At noon, it says 15-1. What's that mean?
15-1 is everybody remembers experience. They don't remember bad food. They remember bad experience. I had somebody once telling me, a very, very, very famous guy, and he will not appreciate it if I mention his name. He said, "Samir, you spent 2 weeks with me, teaching you about food, teaching you about all this stuff. There's one thing you need to remember. Great food does not make up for a bad experience. A great experience makes up for okay food."
Yeah.
So 15-1, we know our food is good. We want the experience to be 15 times better than the food.
Did that come from an actual
It came from a Yelp. Yelp did a study, and they found out based on their reviews, for every 1 complaint about food, there is 15 about bad service.
Got it. So that's again, we're looking at this logo. Yeah. It says Layne's, the name and the mascot. At the top of the circle, 15-1. At 3:00, it says HFF. What's that mean?
HFF means it's hot food fast.
Okay.
We don't cook and hold. We cook to order, and we manage our ticket time. But exactly what it means, hot food fast.
Got it.
That's it.
What's PET, pet?
PET is perfect every time. We're a QSR restaurant. There is nothing worse getting in the drive-thru, getting something and order ranch dressing as a sauce, get home, and you have honey mustard. Then you lost on the 15-1.
What's OTT? That's at the
over
9
the
o'clock.
Top, over the top.
What's that mean?
That means is everything we do is over the top. Going back to the laid back attitude, if you see a mom struggling with the kids coming into the front door, go open the door for her.
Yeah, don't do what's expected, do what's unexpected.
Yeah.
You can't. People won't remember you if you met their expectation. Yeah. So those are basically you're making me think of David McClaskey, who I recently just had on the show, the McClaskey Excellence Group, and he's talking about the importance of just doing everything with excellence and having these clearly defined things like what is your promise, and wholly go into those promises. So your promises are 15-1, hot food fast, perfect every time.
Perfect every time.
And over the top.
Yep.
And when you bake in your core values, when you literally bake it into the brand, and you can't just write these things in an operations manual and say, okay, we have a culture now. Yeah. It has to be resurfaced daily. You have to bleed, sweat it.
You have to speak it. Yeah. You have to talk about it. You have to live it. I carry around, we have what we call 15-1 pins, and if somebody exhibits something, I'll just pick up the pin and say, you know what, thank you for doing that. Here's a 15-1 pin. So
we're at 54 minutes of recording time. Can you believe that? It goes by fast, man.
It goes fast.
Do you have a hard stop?
No.
Okay. I will respect your time, but I do want a little more because this is good stuff.
Okay.
So I kind of want to know, paint the picture of where you guys are today. If we're listening to this in terms of your operations, right? Are you in charge of technology, or do you?
They report to me.
Okay.
They report to me, but to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you.
Yes.
And I did that.
And I think that's one of what I was earlier today. You said I think your biggest lesson was surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And the lesson was to find the lead franchisees and pull them close. Yeah. But that holds true to your corporate team too.
Your corporate team.
Yeah.
So I hire people that are experts in their field, and I trust them, but I trust them, but I challenge them because, like I told you, I'm the voice of the franchisee. I'm gonna speak when they bring something to me. I'm speaking like a franchisee. Explain it to me. Okay, you're asking me to buy this product. It's gonna cost me $500. I don't need it. If you cannot convince me, how are we gonna convince a franchisee to buy it?
Right. So who is this person that you're trying to get to convince you? Is that like your
Anybody.
executive or
Yeah, I mean, he's a director level.
Got it.
Anybody that brings me anything, convince me that I need to do this.
So when Garrett and Matt brought you on, thereafter, after 6 locations, did you put together the executive team? Was that your job to recruit?
What I wanted to do is, no, I did it all myself, and then I wanted to build a strong foundation for the business. It was me, Matt, and Garrett. I mean, it was the 3 of us working. The first year we spent just stabilizing and creating a strong foundation for the business. And then we started bringing people in as we progressed. We realized the first thing we need a training person, director of training.
Yeah. This goes back to SOP. So the 3 things you identified, 7 to 25, identify what you're actually selling, SOPs, and supply chain.
Yeah.
So now with the team that you're building, it's the focus on the systems.
It's focusing on the systems and delivering on those systems.
Okay. So you recruit, who are the people that you bring on with you to focus on systems? What are the different pillars of systems that you needed to build? Training, HR.
HR. I mean, yeah, it's
fall into training.
Yeah, falls under training, but we're a franchise organization. Ops. Who are the people that gonna represent me in the field?
Okay.
Because as we get bigger, my biggest thing right now is not regret. It's kind of keeps me anxious. I was in the field all the time. I'm not as much right now because as we grow, so I want somebody that can represent me and represent Layne's the way it should be represented.
Yeah.
And then marketing, and then I bring those leaders on, and we work together with them on, okay, what kind of support do you need?
Okay. You also have construction.
Yep.
You have real estate development.
We have real estate. We have 2 major strengths at Layne's: real estate and supply chain.
And that comes from Maine and Maine.
Yep.
So that's the kind of the unfair advantage that Garrett brought to the table.
Yep.
Was the growth vehicle.
Yep.
They have the product, what are we selling?
Yep.
But their unfair advantage is the experience in scaling and going
Yep.
and finding locations, right?
Go and finding location is this location. I've been in, like you said, over 30 years. I've never seen a real estate department acts the way they do.
What do they do that's different?
They pinpoint the good and the bad of every location we talk.
Yeah, I am secretly chomping at the bit. I'm hoping I'm not jinxing it, but I want to get Eric Reed on the show to talk about what goes into site selection, the detail that he was getting into.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I've always said real estate is science and art, and the 2 have to meet somewhere. With the team that we have, they mastered the art of it.
Okay.
The science is the science,
yeah,
but they've mastered the art of it.
We've been very high level at this point. I'm reserving that topic to hopefully talk to Eric someday because he seems like the master. According to Garrett, he's the guy.
He is.
Yeah. What I'm interested in is at the single unit operation. What is your franchise executing? What is the system that you built for him in terms of technology and what does that look like? What is your tech stack? And
we're very simple tech stack. All we have is POS. We have a loyalty app, and we have consumer intercept.
So what is a consumer intercept?
Basically, every order there is a QR code. They scan it, and it allows the customer to reach out to us directly and tell us how we did. Feedback. Yeah.
Who are you using for that?
Ovation.
Okay. Zach Oates, past guest in the show, past sponsor of the podcast.
Yep.
Love Ovation.
Love Zach.
Great guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Actually, he was a keynote speaker at our conference.
Okay. What was it about Ovation that appealed to you out of all the options?
The simplicity of it and the information I can get from it.
What makes it simple?
It's just answer one question.
Yeah. And what kind of feedback have you gotten because of Ovation?
It taught us, made us adjust some things, and hearing to what the customer is saying. Like he's saying, for example, hey, your app is not user friendly. We started seeing that more and more. So we're working on the app to make it more user friendly. We're adding scanners and all that, but we didn't know. So
Communication isn't about saying things; it's about listening.
it's about listening.
Yeah, and that's
and,
what
and
Ovation
acting
does.
on it. I mean, one of my biggest fear when I brought Ovation on board, and I made sure everybody understand that, even Garrett, even Matt, everybody, even at the executive level, this is not a punishment tool. If you want to use it as a punishment tool, let's save the money and move on. This is an information tool for us to get better. And so far it's been working great.
Yeah, that's the whole idea behind customer feedback. And I just double checked that my affiliate link is still working. And huge fan of Ovation. If you guys are interested, head over to restaurantunstoppable.com. Sorry, ovationup.com/unstoppable.
Yeah.
Love what they're doing. That supports our relationship. You heard it here. Check out Ovation. So you're using your feedback tool, you're using loyalty, and
Loyalty
you're
app.
using
Just POS.
POS.
Yeah.
So when you came on, they were using PAR tech.
Yes.
And you encouraged them away from that?
We not encouraged. We started looking. We needed a POS.
Okay.
And based on what we needed, we picked Revel Up, which is because our menu is simple. Like I said, we keep talking simplicity. We're very simple.
Yeah.
And for what we do, Revel Up supports what we do. It's a cloud-based. If it breaks down, you go buy an iPad, download it, and you're up and running.
So what were the other elements about Revel Up that was appealing?
The simplicity of it.
Is it still open source?
Yes.
Were you able to negotiate your credit card rates?
Not anymore.
Okay, so they went to now they are a credit card processor because I know that used to be a thing, but it changed.
Yeah, we used to be able to.
Yeah.
That's my biggest sore point with them right now. We're talking right now.
Okay.
Because in the franchise world, I don't want to dictate to the franchisees what they can and cannot do. And like I said, most of my franchisees, when we talk dreamer and investor, most of my franchisees are investors.
Yeah.
They already have these systems in place, and I come into me and say, well, you have to use it. So
Yeah.
we're looking at things right now.
Have you heard of Merchant Advocates?
No.
They are a company that negotiates on behalf of restaurants to get better credit card processing rates.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to a few people right now, and we'll see where this goes.
Thanks for the transparency. And what about loyalty? What did you?
We use Como.
Say it one more time.
Como.
How do you spell that?
COMO.
COMO. Okay, first time I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a loyalty app, and the reason we picked Como is because they had, when we picked the loyalty app, we were 8 restaurants. And we're 25 right now, but we wanted a loyalty app, and we picked Como because it was already integrated with Revel. So we picked it, and so we launched it in 2022 or 2023. But we have over 100,000 members.
Yeah, and I think you're also using Skooks.
We use Skooks for training.
Yep.
Skooks is a great tool because this generation doesn't like to read; they like to watch. So, and it helps my training team before they get to the opening. The employees have watched the videos.
Got it.
And there's nothing makes me more happy because Garrett does an introduction. When Garrett walks in and open, oh, I know you. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the world of franchising, that training has to be like deliverable.
Yeah, that's our biggest department right now.
So, what was it about Skooks that appealed to you?
Skooks was picked before I came on board, and
Okay.
I looked at it. I didn't see a need to change it.
Got it. Is there anything we did not talk about today that you were hoping would come to today's conversation? And what am I missing out on? What should I have asked you?
It's not as franchising. I love, like I said, I love franchising. it's a great way to build long-term relationships with people and building wealth for people when it's done right.
Yeah. How do you find your franchisee?
My biggest validator is my existing franchisees. They see what they're doing, they call us.
So it's word of mouth?
It's word of mouth. Yeah,
I think it's to this day the most trusted way to find information.
I mean, we got up to 200 sold, and we have not spent $1 on franchise marketing. This year is,
when you say 200 what?
200 locations
sold, and you have 25 open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did not spend $1 on franchise marketing until this year.
I mean, I can relate with that. I've never spent money on marketing, and people, with this podcast, and it's because I really do I try really hard to just get real conversations and to make it real. I don't even edit.
Yeah.
It's just like honest, real conversation, and I hear that that's what people like about this show is that it's not like. And I was staring down a path for a while. You hit a vein with me earlier today, and when you said the world of I like to say marketing is the bane of human existence because it warps reality.
Yeah.
And if you have money, you can influence reality, you can control the agenda, and that's what's happening in the world of supply chains.
What I tell people is marketing does not equal sales.
Yeah.
Marketing equal traffic. I hold my marketing team, I don't hold them accountable to sales.
The experience is sales.
I hold them. Are you getting me more customers in the door?
Yeah.
That's their KPI. People knowing about me. Are they coming in the door? I hold operations accountable for sales because I can bring you 1 million people in. Are you keeping them?
Yeah, yeah. What is your leadership style?
This is my. I'm a good listener. My style. It's not a style. Is the restaurant business have been very good to me. It got me where I am today, but I didn't do it by myself. People helped me get here, and I love paying it forward. I love taking, I call our employees kids, taking our employees that person was a cook or a manager or anything, and find a career path for them. Every single person that I brought on board has worked with me in the past. I didn't recruit them. All I called said, "Hey, are you happy?" And they just come on board because they want to work with me. That means a lot.
Yeah.
It's like we have a gentleman here. His name, he's in charge of a new restaurant opening team. I met him when he was 17 years old when I came to Layne's. I saw a spark in him. He was an assistant manager. Now he's in charge of my new restaurant opening team at 21, 22 years old.
I love that. Do you think that with scale, there's a chance to sacrifice that? Is there a
that will never get sacrificed?
How do you protect that?
I will always make time, even if it's on my personal time. My door is always open. I have 6 employees right now that they make schedules with me.
What happens when you have more?
I'll make the time.
Is there relative to scale? Is there a sweet spot where you think that that you have where you can literally change lives?
Yeah.
And make an impact, but you're not sacrificing for more units.
And I'm hoping that the people that are around me are seeing what I'm doing and they do it themselves.
So you replicate it. You create yourself and others.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's what we're doing is something big. We're taking a brand in this day and age that's 30 years old, and we're making it a viable, recognizable brand.
You're also creating legacy for Matt Layne.
Yeah.
This is Matt, right?
Yeah.
Matthew Layne?
Yeah.
We're at the finish line. We're almost there. I want to wrap it up for you. Respect your time. A couple questions before we say goodbye. What is one thing about Layne's, a value, a system, a process that makes it truly unstoppable?
It's us. It's us. It's the team that we have built. We all have the same passion. We might, if you ask them, what are you doing here? We might say it differently, but it all means the same thing.
What is your passion?
My passion is every everybody passing by a building see Astro Chicken and they know it's Layne's. That's what I'm aiming for.
The mission statement is to change the world through inspiring, empowering, and transforming the restaurant industry. We're going to do that by transforming one owner at a time. How have you personally transformed as an executive, as a leader in this organization?
I'm a different person. I've learned to listen. I've learned the hard way. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I've learned to appreciate and reward success.
I love it. So the last question, it's a doozy.
Okay.
Get ready for it. If you got the news, you'd be leaving this world tomorrow. All the memories of you, your work, and your restaurants would be gone with your departure, with the exception of 3 pieces of wisdom that you could leave behind for the good of humanity and your legacy. What are those 3 pieces of wisdom?
Oh, wow.
It's a loaded one.
It's a loaded one. If you believe in what you're doing, trust what you're doing.
1.
Find the one thing that you're good at and be great at it.
2.
Okay, there's 2 of them.
You can give me 4.
Yeah. You need to learn to look and see, listen and hear.
So that's 4 altogether.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun, Samir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I find all my guests through word of mouth,
Yep.
just like you find your franchisees. I believe success recognizes success. Good people know good people. Who do you respect and admire in this industry? Somebody that if they were a guest on the show, you'd be like, get this person. They have a story. They have values. I have to make an example.
Yeah, I mean, you said you talked to Charles. Have you talked to Nick Paulus
No.
from Mainland?
Nick Paulus?
Uh-huh.
What is Mainland?
It's a PR agency. I respect Nick a lot. He's been a great resource for me. I mean, he knows, him and Charles are partner in a conference they put together called Friend Camp.
Okay.
Nick is a good source.
It was Charles Intercanola who was the second person in a month to mention Layne's. So it was first, it was Kyle Dillon from Dilla's Quesadillas.
Okay.
And then, like, within a couple weeks, Charles said,
I was one of the speakers at their Friend Camp in few weeks ago.
Yeah, we're actually partnering because, what I'm trying to do with this podcast is to use word of mouth to find good people and to help my listeners connect with good people, to be a connector and a promoter of people doing good work. And Friend Camp, what is that?
It's kind of franchise, especially newer franchises, camp for them to understand what franchising is about. And how to take their baby, their small thing, and make it franchisable.
Yeah.
Take it to the next level.
And he's doing kind of what I'm trying to do with Restaurant Unstoppable. He's doing for the world of franchising.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and he said that he would pay me a handsome commission if I send people his way.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you're interested in the world of franchising and you want to join a community and get the support you need, reach out to me. I will make a personal introduction. And
Charles is a good guy.
Yeah, and that supports this podcast. And this is the direction I'm trying to take Restaurant Unstoppable. Again, what I was saying earlier with the whole marketing thing, I want to choose my relationships, not have to go with the people who can afford to pay my ad space.
Yep.
I'm trying to focus on relationships over anything else. And it's this model by helping me help you connect with the right people. So please let me make the connection. And this is where I say thank you so much. That wasn't prompted, was it? No. That was organic.
That was very organic.
That was organic.
That was very organic.
I did not know I was going to be here an hour and a half ago. This is a shot from the hip interview. So this is real stuff.
On both sides.
Yes. So this is what you're hearing is reality, and that's what steers the ship of this podcast. And look out, Nick Paulus, I'm coming after you. And this is where I say thank you so much, Samir. I literally cannot do what I do without people like you getting open, getting honest, getting vulnerable, and you make my work possible. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.